Here's the single best prompt you can use in ChatGPT right now to improve your English speaking. This is it. This one prompt used in voice mode every single day will do more for your English speaking than most courses you've ever taken. And before we go any further, I've put this prompt and every other prompt in this video in the video's description. I've also created a free PDF called the AI English Starter Kit that you can access through the link in the description. It includes 7 practical ways to practice with AI. The prompts are ready to copy and paste, and it includes a page of tips that most learners never find on their own. Most people who use ChatGPT for English are typing. They ask a question, they read the answer, they close the app. You don't have to type. You can speak to ChatGPT out loud in real time. It speaks back, you respond. It's a live spoken conversation in English on your phone for free right now. Here's how to turn it on. Open the ChatGPT app. At the bottom of the screen, you will see a microphone icon or a waveform button. Tap it. That's voice mode. It listens, it responds out loud, and it waits for you to speak again. That's it. You're in a conversation. The first time feels strange, maybe a little embarrassing, even alone. You might freeze, you might mumble, you might speak and immediately think, was that even a sentence? Good. That feeling is exactly what you're here to train, because that is the same feeling you get in a real job interview, a real meeting, a real phone call in English. AI gives you a safe place to feel it over and over until it stops feeling like panic and starts feeling like normal. Let me show you what a real session looks like. I'm going to use the prompt I just showed you, and I'm not going to edit out the pauses or moments I lose my words. That's the whole point. The first thing I'm going to do is paste my context block in. This tells ChatGPT who I am, what my level is, and what I'm working on. Every session starts with this. 30 seconds that make everything that follows more personal and more useful. Once that's pasted, I'm going to open voice mode and I'm going to read the prompt. I want to practice speaking English. Ask me one question at a time about my day, my job, or something I'm thinking about. Wait for my full answer before you continue. After 10 exchanges, give me feedback on vocabulary I could upgrade, grammar patterns you noticed, and one phrase that sounded unnatural. Don't correct me mid-conversation. Let it flow.
That sounds perfect. I'll keep it smooth and let you have full space to answer. So let's start with something simple. What did you do at work today?
Today, I had several calls with clients and I was doing some long-term planning on what our team is working on over the next 2 quarters.
That sounds like a productive day. What was the most challenging part of those calls or the planning today?
The most challenging part was probably sorting out who on my team would be responsible for which aspects of the project that we're unveiling.
I see. Yeah, assigning clear roles can be tricky. How did you decide who would take on each part in the end?
We talked about it as a team. We went through each person's strengths and weaknesses and what each person really wanted to take on and what they're passionate about. But at the end of the day, we had a list of things that we needed to assign, and each person took a different part of the project.
That sounds really collaborative. I'm glad you worked it out that way. Did you have a chance to set some deadlines for each part of the project today?
We did. We sorted out 3 different deadlines over the next 2 quarters, and we were able to get that shored up.
Nice. That must feel good to have a clear timeline. Is there anything you're doing tomorrow to keep track of progress or to follow up with the team?
Well, it's a long term project, so I don't think there will be too much to check in on tomorrow, but definitely going to meet in 2 weeks' time to see how progress is coming with each person on our team.
That makes a lot of sense, giving everyone some space to work before the next check in. Do you feel confident that everyone understands their role so far?
Yes, we had a good conversation about it, and I did have a chance to speak with my um, the three team members that are taking on different parts of this project, and we talked about what they see as their challenges over the next 2 quarters and how they plan on overcoming those challenges and delivering for our client.
That's great. Having that open discussion should really set you all up for success. Do you feel like you have any specific goals for your own role in the next couple weeks?
I really want to work on my delegation skills. I want to be able to pass off work that my team is capable of doing and have them assume responsibility and ownership over the results and put the trust in them and their skills.
I think that's a really strong focus, and it's going to help you a lot as a leader. What's one small step you could take tomorrow to start delegating a bit more?
I think I should take a look at the tasks that are on my plate and decide what I can do and what perhaps I can have somebody else on my team step in and do.
That sounds like a really practical plan. Once you make that list, you can identify the tasks that align best with each person's strengths. I'm sure you'll feel more at ease once you start letting go of it.
Yes, I think so as well. It's challenging, but I have full trust in my team, and I think that they can step in and deliver with their expertise.
Exactly. And I think that trust will really boost morale too. If anything comes up or you need a confidence boost, just let me know and we can keep practicing these leadership conversations.
Okay, great. Thank you. I will. What about the feedback that I asked for at the beginning of the conversation?
Of course. So I'll go through that now. Across the conversation, your vocabulary was really solid. You used clear business phrases like long term planning, assigning roles, and ownership. Grammar wise, you were strong. Your sentence structure was mostly correct, and you used the past tense naturally to describe your day. One phrase that sounded a bit unnatural was when you said the list of things that we needed to assign. Instead, it might sound more natural to say the tasks we needed to assign. But overall, you did really well.
Okay, thank you. Are there 3 or 4 vocabulary upgrades that you could recommend based on what you heard?
Absolutely. So, first, instead of saying calls with clients, you could say client consultations. It sounds a bit more formal. Second, instead of sorting out who would be responsible, you could say determining ownership of tasks. Third, instead of pass off work, you might say delegate tasks. It's a bit more precise. And fourth, instead of set deadlines, you could say establish timelines. These small upgrades will make your language even more professional.
Could you put this feedback together in a message form and paste it in our chat so that I could study it later?
Of course, here's a summary you can review later. Hi, Dan. Great job today. Overall, your vocabulary and grammar were strong. Here are a few vocabulary upgrades to consider. Use client consultations instead of calls with clients. Second, say determining ownership of tasks instead of sorting out who is responsible. Third, use delegate tasks rather than pass off work. And fourth, say establish timelines instead of set deadlines. Keep practicing, and I'm sure you'll keep improving.
Thank you. I'm going to sign off for the day.
You're very welcome, Dan. I'm glad we got to practice, and I hope you feel more confident. Have a great rest of your day, and talk to you next time.
That is really impressive. I didn't even think about some of those things that I was saying that it caught and was able to provide feedback on. That is not a dictionary. That is a coach. Now, I want to show you 3 things you can say during a voice session that most learners have no idea exist. These are in the free PDF as well. While you're in a voice conversation, you can say, speak slower. And ChatGPT will slow down. You don't have to keep up with native speaker pace. You set the pace. You're in charge of the session. The second one, give me more time to pause while I'm speaking. By default, AI sometimes responds a little too quickly. It can feel like you're being rushed. This command tells it to wait, to give you the space to think in English before it jumps in. That extra pause is where real thinking in English happens instead of translating. The third one, only correct my most important errors. If the feedback starts to feel overwhelming, you narrow the focus. Fix what matters most first. You can always expand the feedback later as you improve. 3 commands: speak slower, give me more time to pause, and only correct my most important errors. Save those. They change the quality of every session. So here's what you just saw. You can speak to ChatGPT, not type. Voice mode is available right now on your phone for free. Hesitating is not failing. Hesitating and continuing is the practice. The goal is not a perfect conversation. It's a real one. And the feedback at the end is where the learning compounds. Don't just read it. Close it, say it from memory. The only way this doesn't work is if you treat it like studying, reading about it, saving prompts, planning to start. This works when you open the app, tap the microphone, and speak. And if you want a full 30-day system, your personalized prompt library, a fluency profile, a structured daily plan that builds week by week, that's what I built inside the English Perfectus AI fluency system. The first 7 days are completely free. No credit card, link is below. Start today, not tomorrow. Today.